Hare Krishna, welcome for the discussion on Bhagavad Gita from chapter number 2 and verse number 54. In the previous verse, we have seen that Krishna has mentioned about a person who has achieved highest state of consciousness, that is Krishna consciousness or Achala Buddhi or Samadhi, as one of the greatest benefits of practicing Buddhi Yoga. So now Arjuna wants to know more about a person who has achieved that highest state of consciousness, Sthita Prajna or Achala Buddhi or Samadhi. So that he asks now to Krishna. So let us see the first verse of today's discussion, that is the question asked by Arjuna to Lord Krishna. Arjuna uvacha Sthita pragnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava Sthita dhi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. So the meaning of this verse is like this, that Arjuna is asking Krishna, "O Keshava, what are the symptoms of a person whose consciousness is thus merged in the transcendence? How does he speak? What is his language? How does he sit? How does he walk?" So these are different questions Arjuna is posing to Krishna through this verse. Basically, he wants to know how he can identify what are the symptoms by which he can know that person has achieved that state of Achala Buddhi or Sthita Prajna or Jivan Mukta or Samadhi state or fixed in Krishna consciousness. See, every person can be identified by certain symptoms. Like a rich person can be identified by certain symptoms. A diseased person can be identified by certain symptoms. Similarly, a person who has achieved full Krishna consciousness can also be identified by certain symptoms. So here Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, one of the most important symptom by which you can understand or know that a person has achieved highest state of Krishna consciousness is that he always speaks of Krishna or matters related to him. And now we will see how Krishna is going to answer this question of Arjuna, which forms the whole chapter, the remaining part of the chapter in many more verses. So we will see in few verses today the some part of the symptoms of the Sthita Prajna as mentioned by Lord Krishna, and more about it we will see in the forthcoming videos. So now we will see the reply of Lord Krishna in the next verse, verse number 55. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanugatan atmanyevatmana tushtaha sthita prajnastaduchyate. So Lord Krishna is here replying to Arjuna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead says that when a person gives up all desires for sense gratification which are arising or created by the concocted mind, and when his mind is purified completely and he is satisfied in the self, then he is said to be in pure transcendental state or Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajnasya Taduchyate. So here Krishna is giving one of the important symptom of a person in Sthita Prajna state. That is, he is not at all interested or he gives up all material desires of sense gratification created by the mind or concocted by the mind. Mind always concocts so many desires so that the senses can enjoy, and the person who is not transcendentally situated, he dwells on those sense desires for sense gratification, and that's how he gets caught up in this material world. But a person who is transcendentally situated, he gives up all those desires. That is the first symptom here Krishna is mentioning in this verse. More we will see in the next verse, verse number 56. Dukkeshvanu dignamana sukeshu vigata spriha vitaraga bhaya krodha sthita dhir muniruchyate. So here Krishna is telling many more symptoms to Arjuna of a Sthita Prajna or Sthita Dhir. So what are the symptoms? He is telling here Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. He is free from Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Raga means attachment, Krodha means anger, and Bhaya means fear. Not only that, his Dukkeshvanu Vignamana, his mind is never disturbed by the threefold miseries. And also Sukeshu Vigadaspriha, he is not elated in happiness. These are few symptoms, and this person is said to be a sage of steady intelligence. Sthita Dhir Muniruchyate. Now, how this person cannot be affected by the threefold miseries? When miseries come, this person thinks that this is actually the mercy of the Lord. Actually, because of my past misdeeds, so much more I am supposed to get. But here, Lord is minimizing it to the lowest and giving it to me. So hence he is always grateful. And he also is not very much elated during happiness or whatever happiness he gets, because he understands and gives credit to the Lord that it is because of the grace of the Lord that whatever best condition or happiness he is achieving today, and he becomes grateful to the Lord. So these are the few very important symptoms of a Sthita Dhir or Sthita Prajna. So now we will see more in the next verse. Verse number 57. Yah sarvatrana visnehas tat prapya shubhashubham nabhinandanti nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita. So the meaning is like this. In the material world, one who is not affected by any good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is said to be firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. So this is a very important symptom again of a Sthita Prajna person, or a person who has achieved that highest state of consciousness. So in this verse we see that he is not affected by any good or bad that happens, and he neither praises nor despises it. In this material world, there is always upheavals, and there is sometimes good, sometimes evil which happens. How one can remain unaffected? For this, one requires a lot of control over his mind and senses. How one can achieve so much control over his mind and senses? That secret will be revealed by Lord Krishna in the next few verses. That we will see in the next video, the secret of sense control and mind control. So that we will see in the next video. Till then, thank you very much for watching. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.